Hi, it's T. Carlson here. I love a good Western, and Gunsmoke was one of the longest running TV series of all time, and certainly one of the greatest examples of the Western genre. There have been many DVD releases of Gunsmoke over the years, but we just got a new, great big, comprehensive package, and that's what we're looking at today. This is Gunsmoke, the complete series. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. There's our individual clamshell cases. Of course, top of the box has the Gunsmoke logo on it and the complete series backing. Here's the side of the box. Here's our front cover with most of the principal cast. Oddly, they didn't see fit to put Marshall Dillon on the front of the box, although he's on both of the sides of the package. There he is again right there. And then this is split into 6 different clamshell cases that combine the discs of the earlier season sets, so let's take a look at those. Here's the inside of the box without the cases. It's just kind of a plain looking cardboard box, but it is pretty hard and sturdy, so that's nice. Firstly, we have Gunsmoke Seasons 1 through 4. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the way these are packaged. You have multiple overlapping spindles, and each individual spindle has multiple discs on it. Now, there are episode lists. Unfortunately, they're buried under the discs. I'm going to pull these off just to show that off. And I'll also show one of the discs just so you can get an idea of what they look like. Again, I'm pretty sure these are the same discs that were released in the previously released season sets. Each disc does list the episodes that's on it. It's kind of hard to see that on the video there, but that's what they look like. So under there, you have a list of the episodes that are in this set, as well as what bonus features are on each disc. And then in the center of the package, you have the spine. There's no art on the spine in this one, unfortunately. And then inside the back cover, pretty much the same thing as the front cover. We have a continuation of the episode list that I mentioned earlier. We then have Seasons 5 through 7. Again, pretty much the same deal as far as packaging goes. I'm not going to pull discs out of each of these and show off the episode list, because it's pretty much the same motif in each disc, but you get an idea of everything. Seasons 8 and 9. The discs all pretty much look the same. This one's got Marshall Dillon on the inner spine. Seasons 10 through 12. Again, this one's also got art of Marshall Dillon on the inner spine. Seasons 13 through 15. Again, art of Marshall Dillon on the inner spine. And seasons 16 through 20, which finished off the series. And once again, more art of Marshall Dillon in the middle there. All 20 seasons included in this 65th anniversary edition. At long last, Gunsmoke, the complete series, celebrating one of the most enduring and acclaimed television programs of all time. All 635 episodes from all 20 seasons of this legendary, multiple award-winning Western are available together for the first time, remastered and restored, along with great bonus features like episodic previews, original cast sponsor spots, audio commentaries, featurettes, and more. Relive the timeless tales and exciting adventures of Dodge City's leading residents: Chester, Doc, Kitty, Quint, Festus, Sam, and the first citizen of Dodge himself, U.S. Marshal Matt Dillon. This is the definitive, complete collection that no Gunsmoke enthusiast can do without. Gunsmoke was on the air for 20 years, 635 episodes, and this set features 143 discs. That's pretty comprehensive. Gunsmoke, of course, was one of the first more serious Western TV series. Of course, at this time, we were just sort of coming off the era of singing cowboys and more lighthearted Westerns, but here we had something much moody, darker, and more atmospheric. Gunsmoke began its life as a radio drama series that began a few years before the TV series. And in fact, when the TV series began, Many of the episodes were adapted from the scripts of the radio dramas. The show stars James Arness as Marshal Matt Dillon, but he's accompanied by several other people in Dodge City throughout the show's run. The main members of the supporting principal cast, of course, being Milbert Stone, who plays Doc Adams, the town physician, and Amanda Blake as Kitty, who runs the town saloon. Although Miss Kitty, unfortunately, did not appear in the 20th and final season. Supporting cast varies a bit over the run of the show, including early episodes featuring Dennis Weaver as Deputy Chester. Later episodes introduce another deputy named Thad. And we even have supporting parts from the likes of Burt Reynolds. Later episodes introduce Festus, who serves as something of a more comic relief character, portrayed by Ken Curtis. And then we also are introduced to Buck Taylor, who portrays Newly, a town gunsmith. So it's a pretty wide and diverse cast, and there's some pretty interesting stories. Even though the show can be quite dark, moody, and atmospheric at times, it's not above having a few more comic relief episodes. I mean, the subject matters of these episodes can revolve around Newly getting married to a woman only to learn that she's gravely ill and may die soon, and he struggles with telling her whether she's going to pass away or not, till more lighthearted fare like two con men who turn in their own uncle to get the bounty on him for a horse theft years and years ago, only to plot a ridiculous scheme to dig under the jail and get him out. So you can really see Gunsmoke is all over the place in terms of what it accomplishes. Not every single episode is great, but the cast is phenomenal, and everyone does an excellent job of what they're given. Later episodes tend to take on more of an anthology format where they focus more on guest stars and one-off characters, and these particular episodes feature our primary characters playing more supporting roles. This allowed them to create more diverse episode scripts and keep the show feeling fresh, even over the course of 20 years. Gunsmoke started out as a half-hour black and white series. Those episodes were later syndicated under the name Marshal Dillon. Then there were hour-long black and white episodes, and then starting with season 12, it became a color series that ran for an hour. And the color episodes are the ones that are primarily seen in syndication these days on channels like TV Land. The show can get, again, quite dark and violent at times, and even get some like 2- and 3-parter episodes in the latter few seasons, so that's certainly a nice addition to the storytelling. The show also has a ton of guest stars. Many people who were pretty big stars at the time, and people who would rise to fame in later years. So you're definitely going to see a lot of familiar faces here. I'm not going to do a rundown of guest stars here, but a quick Google search should turn up some of the people that did appear on the show. And you might be pleasantly surprised at some of the names you see. So I have to say, I had a lot of fun revisiting this show. I didn't have time to go back and watch all 635 episodes, so I just sampled a few from throughout the series run. And I have to say, the picture quality on these, even though these are standard def DVDs, it actually does look quite good. These were clearly cleaned up and remastered, or the source was in pretty good condition. So there is a lot of detail, and all the natural film grain is intact. This clearly wasn't something that was shot on videotape like a second-rate production. And throughout the seasons, from the early black and white ones to the later color ones, everything actually looks very good. I was pleasantly surprised at the picture quality on these discs. I do hope one day we will get Gunsmoke in Blu-ray in high defs. I think that little extra uptick will do the show a lot of favors. But as is, these are not bad-looking DVDs, and I'm quite impressed with what I see here. And there are several bonus features. A lot of the discs have vintage sponsor spots advertising things like cigarettes and razors. But then you also have things like commentary tracks, featurettes with people who are fans and authors of the series. And then you have, one disc has a Remembering James Arness featurette. There's just a lot of random stuff here and there, and it is nice to see that we actually have a lot of this stuff preserved on the disc. Some episodes even have their original episode previews intact, so it's very nice to get everything here in one package. Probably the only minor complaints I have, it doesn't include any episodes of the radio drama, and it does not include the 5 made-for-TV movies that came out in the years following the series cancellation, although those have since been released on separate standalone DVDs. So if you are a Gunsmoke fan, this is certainly a package worth owning. If you already bought the individual season and half-season sets that were released from 2007 or so onward, you don't really need to get this because it's pretty much the exact same content. Although if you don't already own Gunsmoke in any shape or form yet, this is the release to get just because you can get it for a fairly cheap price for what you get. I think the retail price is like $250, but I got this on Amazon on sale for like about $170, which is a great deal considering you get 635 episodes plus bonus features. So That really breaks down to less than $1 an episode, and that's pretty remarkable. I can give this set a very high recommendation to anyone who's a fan of Gunsmoke, Westerns, classic TV, classic Americana, or anything in between. How about you? Are you a fan of Gunsmoke? What's your favorite era of the show? Who's your favorite character? What's your favorite episode? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos, and make sure to hit this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm TLT Carlson. I'll see you next time.